According to the National Electrical Code, electrical metallic tubing, commonly referred to as EMT, must be supported and secured at specific intervals. This is to ensure its mechanical integrity and prevent sagging or displacement, which could lead to damage or hazardous conditions. The general rule, as outlined in the NEC, mandates that EMT be supported at least every 10 feet, or 3.5 meters, unless specific exceptions apply. This means that regardless of the installation environment, whether it's a commercial building, industrial facility, or residential dwelling, the EMT run must have a physical support at intervals not exceeding 10 feet. These supports must be in the form of straps, hangers, or other approved means specifically designed for securing EMT. These supports are typically metal or plastic devices that clamp onto the EMT and are then fastened to the building structure. The purpose of these supports is twofold. Firstly, they provide physical stability to the EMT, preventing it from moving or sagging under its own weight or due to external forces. Secondly, they maintain the proper spacing and alignment of the EMT, ensuring that it does not interfere with other building systems or create a tripping hazard. Now, let's address the scenario where EMT passes through a concrete masonry unit, CMU, wall and is secured in place with mortar. While it might seem like the mortar provides adequate support, the NEC does not recognize this as an acceptable method of securing and supporting EMT. The reason for this is that mortar is not a reliable long-term support solution. Over time, mortar can crack, crumble, or deteriorate due to temperature changes, moisture, or physical stress. This can lead to the EMT becoming loose and unsupported, which can create a safety hazard. Furthermore, the NEC requires that supports be installed in a manner that allows for inspection and maintenance. When EMT is embedded in mortar, it becomes difficult to inspect the condition of the support and to make any necessary repairs. This can lead to undetected problems that can worsen over time. There are also concerns about the potential for corrosion when EMT is in direct contact with mortar. Mortar can contain chemicals that can react with the metal of the EMT, leading to corrosion and eventual failure. This is especially true in damp or humid environments. So, what are the acceptable methods for supporting EMT that passes through a CMU wall? Firstly, if the EMT run is short enough that it falls within the 10-foot support interval, you can install a support strap or hanger on either side of the wall within the allowable distance. This will provide adequate support and meet the NEC requirements. Secondly, if the EMT run is longer than 10 feet, you will need to install additional supports along the run, in addition to the supports on either side of the wall. This will ensure that the EMT is properly supported throughout its entire length. When selecting supports for EMT, it's important to choose the right type and size for the specific application. There are different types of straps and hangers available, each designed for different sizes of EMT and different mounting conditions. It's also important to use hardware that is compatible with the EMT and the building structure. For example, if you're installing EMT in a corrosive environment, you should use stainless steel supports and hardware. In addition to the general rule of supporting EMT every 10 feet, the NEC also has some specific requirements for supporting EMT in certain situations. Firstly, EMT must be supported within 3 feet of every box, fitting, or termination point. This is to prevent stress on the connections and to ensure that the EMT is securely anchored. Secondly, EMT that is installed in a wet location must be supported in a way that prevents water from accumulating inside the conduit. This can be achieved by using watertight fittings and by sloping the conduit so that water drains away from the connections. Thirdly, EMT that is installed in a hazardous location must be supported in a way that prevents the spread of fire or explosion. This can be achieved by using explosion-proof fittings and by sealing the conduit with an approved sealant. When installing EMT supports, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions and to use the correct tools and techniques. This will ensure that the supports are properly installed and that they will provide adequate support for the EMT. It's also important to inspect the supports regularly to make sure that they are in good condition and that they are properly secured. If you find any damaged or loose supports, you should replace them immediately. In summary, While embedding EMT and mortar within a CMU wall might seem like a convenient way to support the conduit, it does not meet the requirements of the NEC. The NEC requires that EMT be supported by approved means such as straps or hangers at intervals not exceeding 10 feet. This is to ensure the long-term stability and safety of the electrical system. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local electrical codes for specific requirements and to ensure compliance. Failing to properly support EMT can result in code violations, safety hazards, and potential damage to the electrical system. Always prioritize safety and compliance when working with electrical systems. Remember, proper support of EMT is not just a matter of convenience, it's a matter of safety and compliance. By following the NEC guidelines and using approved support methods, you can ensure that your EMT installation is safe, reliable, and code compliant.